Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful, cloudy San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. I hope you guys are excited for this wonderful day. Because these videos are going national, I just want to remind you, people are concerned about me driving, doing videos. Let me give you some revelation on that real quick. If you can see behind me that street lamp, I've got an 8-mile stretch of straight road. I can see all the way down the 8 miles. We're going bumper to bumper in the mornings. Driving to the grocery store with 7 children is scary and hard. Driving down the highway, having a heated debate with your wife who is a fiery Latina, that's distracted driving, ladies and gentlemen. Driving by myself, speaking to the air, to those of you out there in Facebook world, is the easiest part of my life. So let's have a quick conversation this morning, shall we? Imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. Imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. What do I mean by that? Well, one of the things that we discuss and dialogue with and evaluate as a baseline when we first meet coaching clients is determining their natural personality profile, gifts, and strengths. For the most part, the world is broken up into 4 personality styles. Those 4 personality styles are pretty fascinating, and if you know who they are and you can identify how they operate, your ability to connect with and communicate with them goes through the roof, because most people are completely unaware of how they show up, and they're completely unaware of the 4 distinguishing characteristics that make up how a person learns and lives. Let me give you the power of this. Doesn't matter where you are on the planet, there are 4 basic personality profiles. Some of the greatest shows have those 4 basic personality profiles interacting with one another. For those of you that were fans of Star Trek, you had Captain Kirk, you had Mr. Spock, you had Bones, and you had Scotty. Each one of them a completely different personality profile that worked together to create a cohesive team. If you had nothing but Jim Kirks, they would have wrecked the Enterprise the first day out. If you had nothing but Mr. Spocks, they would have never left the bay, because nothing would have been perfect or logical enough for them to move forward. So you've got to have all of them working in unison to make sense. This is where I come up with the statement, imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. Simply meaning this. By the way, for those of you that are Bible people, why do you think there are, count them, 4 Gospels? There are 4 Gospels because the good Lord is wise enough to know how to speak a message to each one of those 4 personality profiles. But that's another story for another time, ladies and gentlemen. So imperfect action means that you move forward taking action without necessarily having all of the details. You move forward in action recognizing that the true learning of whatever it is you are attempting to learn or master or grow in comes more from you moving forward in that action than studying that action. Let me give you an example. Is it possible that someone could study under Michael Phelps, the Olympic gold medalist swimmer? Could I study under Michael Phelps 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3 years and learn every detail of every mechanic, how to hold your arm, how to hold your hands, how to point your feet, how to keep your legs straight, how to do the flip and turn under the water? Could I study with Michael Phelps for 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for years? Absolutely. And yet when he throws me in the pool, could I drown? You better believe you can. Absolutely. Because studying and learning how to do a thing is not the same as jumping in and doing the thing. Most things that you will learn to do, and you will learn to do well, will require you taking action. In the real estate game, for instance, one of the concerns a lot of agents have, I don't know how to call expired listings. I don't know how to call people who are listing their homes for sale. I don't know how to really door knock and talk in my neighborhood about me being a realtor in the community. Well, of course you don't. And yet the way you learn is by doing it. You learn by doing it. That's what we say in Texas. You learn by doing it. You got to do the stuff. Imperfect action will always trump perfect inaction. So for those of you that consider yourself extremely detail-oriented, you like for things to be right or wrong. One of your greatest fears is being wrong and making a mistake, especially if you're in front of other people, because you may equate mistakes with, this is a character flaw because I like things to be just right. That would be known as a C on the DISC profile out of the DIS and C. The high C needs to hear this message this morning and it will help you. High C, if that's you, when you are 50% ready to take the action, take the action. Because your 50% ready is a high D, high I's 500% ready. Because of the understanding that doing the thing is one of the quickest ways to learn the thing. Now, I'm not talking about if you're performing heart surgery, and I'm not talking about if you're doing your taxes and you're working with numbers. I mean, you got to use your common sense here, right? Imperfect action to learn a new skill, a new trade, a new craft. Imperfect action will always trump perfect inaction. If you find yourself always getting ready to get ready, you can find yourself never taking action. My question I leave you with today is, what are you waiting until your mind you have completely figured out? What are you waiting for? What is that last detail you're waiting for before you take action? Inside, you know you should have taken action a long time ago, but you just don't have all the details. What is that action activity that you know you've been avoiding taking because you don't have all the details in place to make sure it's perfect? Well, I'm going to charge you today as your Facebook coach. Take the action and learn by taking the action. Imperfect action will always trump perfect inaction. Have a great day, guys.